The Imperium of Man did nothing wrong. You heard me. Clickbaity, hot takey. Is this whole video gonna be some combative rage bait where I debate fascism in a fictional setting? Fuck no, I'm here to briefly talk about how we portray heroes in a setting like this, and I guess, by extension, space fascism, in no particular order. Specifically, I heard this fucking argument a lot, that X or Y Imperial character can't be a hero because they did X or Y atrocity inflicted against Xenos or Rebels or whoever the fuck. I see people, like, in the trenches of fucking YouTube comments having a piss fight, dying on the cross about this stuff. It is all fucking nonsense, and let me elaborate. The Oxford definition of a hero is simply the main character in a narrative or dramatic work. That is fucking it. That is the sole qualifying feature of a hero. I could probably end this video here, just leave my nuts on the table as this refutes the core thing I was trying to talk about, but I may as well elaborate, because otherwise I could just do this in another unhinged Twitter rant. A hero, by virtue of being a hero, just inherently does not come with any assigned character trait, no predetermined course of action, and no sense of moral accountability. Not inherently, again, by virtue of being a hero at least, these things come from the individual as a character. The hero is simply the hero, quote-unquote, in the most literal sense possible. Depending on how technical you want to get, porn stars even qualify as heroes. I mean, shit, I know Lana Rhoades feels like one these days. The thing is, we are usually conditioned to think our heroes aren't fucking awful human beings. I mean, at least usually. Name 5 heroes. Did any of those guys in your head have genocide on their docket list of activities? You know, generally, fuck no, they're heroes. And I'm sure some of you have an edgy answer involving a certain art enthusiast with a toothbrush mustache, but you get my point. We are coded to think that heroes generally have to be good, at least in the concept that we are familiar with of a hero in our media and our lives. Or at the very least, heroes are good in the ways that you personally believe to be morally good because of the way you were brought up. And this is the case because they usually are. Emphasis on usually again. But morally good, in 40K, it's putting a bolt pistol to the back of a grot's head and telling that gangly green little fuck to hurry up digging his own grave. Good in Warhammer is shooting your shell-shocked buddy off the heavy bolter because it's genuinely more efficient than trying to pull them off, and you got shit to shoot. Good in this context more often than not involves actions that would make the folks behind the Geneva suggestion scramble to add new laws, like that one time the AdMac forced an entire planet's population of Tau into a literal fucking volcano, justifying it by saying that their biomass would improve the thermoelectric output. Yeah, it's like that. The shit the Imperium does to its enemies would make the fucking Khmer Rouge look good. Genuinely Dr. Evil type shit. And it is from this background knowledge and other little tidbits of lore that we can probably infer that the average man in Warhammer is outwardly xenophobic, debatably educated, quite possibly inbred, and deeply prejudiced. Eating corpse starch and degenerating in a hive has also likely done wonders towards bringing the net average IQ of the Imperium to a nice room temperature. As a consequence of this setting and the myriad of horrible threats constantly assailing mankind, it's my observation that at least it seems interracial relations seem to be just fine and dandy. For the Imperium doesn't give a fuck what color you are, as long as you're not fucking green at least, but rather that you pay your teeth in material or blood. Sure, there's sometimes depicted tensions between, different subsections of population. These can be, people from different planets or, intrasocial class kind of struggles. You see some of that in the media. But the Great Rift didn't open because people were being racist. There are truly bigger issues in the Milky Way. I suppose that's one little win in this awful setting. Anyway, this hypothetical Imperial citizen, by comparison to any other metric besides perhaps being an Albanian, is a recipe for someone we would normally consider to be a massive piece of shit. This, my friends, this is the Imperial citizen, the cornerstone, the pavement, and the fucking human sandbags of the Imperium. If you met one of these people today, for all intents and purposes, they would strike you as a deeply radicalized, outwardly fascist, and intensely indoctrinated in their religion. That is your average emperor-fearing Imperial citizen. What is the point of saying everyone in this setting is generally a piece of shit? It's because moral relativism is the core axis upon which people consider things to be heroic, entirely irrespective of the fact a hero is actually about to be as qualified to be a hero as a monkey is to operate a forklift. That meaning they don't have to do shit to be a hero. That just refers to the character status in the story. And as this expands to the wider, Warhammer lore at large, there's quite a fucking few heroes to talk about here. This setting is older than the girls you pay for on OnlyFans, so I'm just trying to focus on this macro concept here. And for my specific argument, I'll keep any corroborating examples brief. Take, for example, Lord Solar Macarius. He doesn't get mentioned a lot, which is kind of a damn shame. Exemplary human, fantastic leader. Major proponent in the Imperial takeover during the Great Crusade. Probably committed more than a few genocides and xenocides, but due to the nature of his character and the timing of that lore, it's mostly implied. But look at the motherfucker. You think that guy is showing some alien twink mercy? He's the guy who asked the IRS to do their taxes. He's honestly so fucking cool, he more than deserves his own video. But I'll do that another day. The point being, this Imperial saint, this revered icon of mankind, put over 100 worlds of the boot in the Imperium. And if we're just going by, fucking Earth population as baseline, he's definitely killed billions of fucking people. Cool guy. Great art. And on that note, hell, even the Big E's pretty fucking muddy in the water. Despite the grandeur, the immense handsomeness, luscious locks, his arrogance is genuinely it's a huge contributor to why the entire setting is so shitty. Even the goodest of guys is just not the good guy, and that's all part of the shtick of Warhammer. In conclusion, none of the heroes in this setting are fairy tale heroes, and that's the point. This is a setting where getting shot in the back of a head by a commissar is relatively a pretty good way to go. This is the setting where civilians often eat the accumulated sewage and biological material of countless generations before as a staple food. This is the setting where the concept of moral relativism has to be pretty much fully operational in your mind if you don't want to vomit looking at the average Imperial activities. That all being said, do I think these heroes suck as people? Fuck no. It is humanity that is made in God's image, and it's our destiny to conquer it all. Thanks for listening, folks. Expect me to drip feed more content of this type as time goes on. If I can actually make $1 off this, I'll start up a Patreon, schedule content and everything, because I know a shit ton about Warhammer. I'd much rather do this for work if I can, but this boy's gotta eat, and shy of getting a Rothschild sugar mommy, I'm gonna be forced to make these around my work schedule.